Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Alright, guys, so we are going to keep this one short, simple, sweet, and to the point. Your boy is tired, but honestly, we shouldn't complicate things anyway. Alright, guys, honestly, things haven't really changed all that much, which is another reason we're going to keep this video short. All right, let's just go over the facts that we have going on this chart. All right, what is going on here? First things first, low volume. All right, both these days were low volume. That is not a good sign. All right, I'm just going to say that. You had this, you had the dip get bought up there. All right, it was done off of low volume. So guys, there's honestly there's a mockery going on behind the scenes. That's what I'm getting at. You don't like the no volume. Either side, you just don't like it. There is tricks being played. All right, but what else is on this chart? You have a break and retest, all right, off of 431.85. That literally was off of your neckline of the ugly double bottom. This is exactly what we were looking for as we came up here. We were looking for a pullback to backtest 431.85 on SPY or 362.95 on QQQ. We got real close over here on QQQ, and you definitely backtested this 2 days in a row over on SPY. All right, and guess what? The dip just keeps getting eaten. So I do also want to put that on the table as well here, guys. You had an aggressive gap down. I'm actually going to use QQ as an example. Nvidia definitely caused this. All right, but yeah, guys, you were down 1.5%, and you had buyers step in, and you ended the day only down 0.3%, just about. All right. You were even up on the day at one point over here on QQ. So buyers went for a ride with that 1.5% move. Guys, the dip wants to be bought is what I'm getting at. Right here, big old dip. What happened? You put in a bullish divergence. Buyers want to buy it up. All right. The dips are getting bought. And I don't think anyone's going to deny that. All right. You come over here to SPY. It's the same thing. An aggressive dip buy straight up to this gap fill. I would argue SPY is looking way stronger than QQ right now. All right, QQ in the the grand picture here, the grand scheme of things. All right, massive bull flag. All right, what else do we have on this chart? Let's be objective here. We have an inverse head and shoulders going on in the making. All right, now let's also be objective. Screw the emotions. Screw the, okay, we had a massive sell-off today and then rallied and then sold again, all right? Again, screw the emotions. Were we bullish on this dip, guys? Were we looking for this exact right shoulder here to form? Did we say that it was extremely likely that QQQ was not going to break this trend line? Because then you're going to have a floodgate of buyers come in. Did we not say this? Nah, I'll answer it for us, guys. We did say this. All right, we were looking for the dip. We were looking to buy the dip. We were looking for the dip to create a break and retest and a right shoulder over here for this inverse head and shoulders right before you break out of this massive bull flag over here on QQ. We were bullish on the dip. All right, and I think the dip buyers are also bullish on this dip. Now, what do we also have over here on SPY? Consolidation right right where you broke out from on the back test. All right. But you got that consolidation in a bull flag like fashion right here on the back test. I think that is sexy. All right. Yeah. You got sellers stepping in 2 days in a row. But what do we also effectively do today? We switch the trend to up. Like it's 100% it's up now. I understand it's weak sauce because we have this wick. All right. I understand. But that does not change what I see on the chart. I see a higher low. I see a higher high. That's the only thing I see. Well, it's not the only thing I see. I just pointed out you got this wick, you get this low volume right there, so we know trickery is going on. We're getting a big move in one direction or the other. My complete guess is going to be the upside. All right, what I think is actually going to happen, if you can get above 438.43, let's just go down to the 5-minute time frame. Let me show you where buyers really stepped in right here, right there, right before your gap fill, right? You had a high of 438.14. All right, is it, by chance that seller stepped in right before the gap fill? No. All right. That is just a logical turning, pivot point, reversal point, whatever you want to call it. All right. That is going to be the case where people take profits at these gap fills. That is why this happens. All right. Plus shorts they'll hop on if you close a gap. All right. Well, an upper gap to the upside, just like longs would hop on if you close the gap to the downside. It's typically what I see. All right, guys, but it's consolidating in a bull flag like fashion. That is what I'm seeing. All right. I don't care. All right, that we have these 2 wicks here. I'm going to be completely honest on that one. If you do get above 438.43 and you don't have sellers immediately shoving you down, it's going to be very apparent. It's going to go exactly like that. It's going to go exactly like that. You're like, you know, but what you want to see is this. You want to start getting above it. You want to start just trickling above it. That is going to put pressure on anybody who is short. All right. And I'm just going to tell you, once that becomes the case, all right, I think you are very quickly going to see exactly this. And I'm just going to tell you right now what the wise thing to do here. Let's just run through some psychology here so we can all get prepared for what is, likely about to come. I'm not going to say what is going to come. If there's another dip, I'm going to buy that dip all the way down to 425.43. That will be my last dip buy. All right, but guys, it's buying up top right here. It's not the best risk reward, I'm going to be honest, but wait on those dips, guys. Wait on the dips. I think they'll be lucrative. I really do. All right. I think we have extremely bullish charts going on here, and there's some bears that I just don't understand it. I don't, but I also don't want to. I get it. All right. We're all market participants. We all see, different things in these charts. All right. Yeah, right here, guys, what is the extremely wise thing to do? Expect rejection here at your supply zone. You're heavily traded 443 to 444 zone. All right. If you can get above it, that is when you start taking risk back on. All right. What is also going to be the case if you start bringing your head right on up here into the supply zone? It's going to be right here at trendline resistance as well. All right. So not only do you have horizontal resistance in the form of the supply zone, you are also going to have trendline resistance with these touch points right here. All right, so I do think it is likely that we are going to end up doing some form of a break and retest off of this. All right, so my scenarios for this is either do something like that, all right, or you are going to do something like that. Now let's talk about what would be wise. All right, since this is supply zone, we are expecting rejection, and we don't want to get bullish until buyers can prove that it's a demand zone, until we can prove that there are buy orders down there, or up there, and not sell orders. So what do we do? What am I going to do? I'm going to completely de-risk right here. All right, like completely, I'm probably going to completely scale out of my longs. And then guess what? If we see this, all right, we see a break of that level, that is when I wait for the dip to go long. Again. All right, guys, we already caught this long. We're going to be able to reload here. I think we're still going to get a little more opportunity to reload here. I'm just going to be completely honest on that one. We do have 2 large upper wicks here. I think we could be getting another dip, and I will eat the dip. All right. But guess what? Effectively, guys, on this channel, if you're following along with what we're doing here, right, you were able to catch somewhere over here. You were able to catch this move, and you scaled in on these 3 candlesticks down here. All right. And guess what? You caught that move, you scaled out into your supply zone. Then guess what again? You got long down here when we saw this basing formation on the hourly time frame. We started accumulating longs. All right, what is that? Ugly double bottom. You got the breakout right there at 425.43. So you effectively got to play the long side again. What'd you do? You may have started taking profits in that zone. All right, guess what? We still were thinking you were probably going to get above there, but that would have been the wise thing to do. I'm definitely going to be honest with that one. And then, I mean, it would have proved to, be a wise decision because you did start trading flat after that. I mean, it's not too flat. You have a pretty big $4 range going on up here. All right, but I will definitely say they've killed premiums here. So we have another chance to play long on the pullback, and then you're going to get to play this. So you got to play this, you got to play this, take your profits. You get to play this because you're reloaded, maybe. I don't know. And then you're going to scale out here. I'm going to scale out here. I don't want to tell no one to do, what to do with their money. I'm going to scale out right here. All right. And then what are we looking for? We're looking for that proof of concept. We don't get bullish until we see that this is a demand zone. So right here, all right, it's probably going to go something like that. All right. Right here is where we're getting bearish. All right. And once we start seeing that, that's when we're like, oh, wait a minute. There's not sell orders right there. All right. Price peaked above it. So we know there's not sell orders. And then once we come back down to it and you show that there's actually buy orders. So not only, so this right here shows there's no sell orders. This right here shows us there's buy orders. We want to be with the move. That is when we get bullish again for, wait for it, that move. And you scale it right here as well. All right, guys. So it's pretty simple what we got, you know, rocking and rolling here on these charts. It's been really simple. All right. And anyone who wants to talk about the fundamental situation and complicate things, I'm sorry, but you have a bias, and it's probably because you have a bearish position. All right. That is like your bias is 100%. It's so bearish because that is complicating the living crap out of things. I just, you know, went over in detail in this video on how you can play these moves safely. All right. I just went over the psychology with you guys. Why? Because I think it's going to help people. I think it's going to honestly make this whole playing these moves in this volatile market, I think it's going to make it a whole lot easier if we prepare beforehand. We prepared for this move beforehand. We prepared for that move to scale out into the supply zone beforehand. All right, guys? I'm just saying we should be ready to do what we got to do when the things come. And it should be, since we're ready, it should be pretty easy to take that action. All right, guys? If we get a dip, watch 362.95 over here on QQ. We still have this right shoulder forming. All right, so whenever we see this thing test this trend line again, it's probably going to break out. And you're probably also going to see a breakout from this inverse head and shoulders formation. You're probably going to see you know, the floodgate open of buyers. Probably going to go something like that. Boom. And right here, maybe you do a break and retest over that level, you know, or like, you know, something like that. I don't know. All right. But people are probably going to sit here and say, oh, double top, double top. But guess what? You're going to already be broken out of this bull flag. And then any, you know, comeback, it's just going, any pullback, it's going to backtest the bull flag. So, because we're going to hear it the whole way, let's prepare. Let's be prepared for, you know, to take that action. All right. All right. Last thing I will point out, if you do, and you do have this head and shoulders over here on Mr. VIX, if you do end up seeing a pullback, just keep your eye on VIX. Just keep your eye right here on the RSI. Just, it's so easy. Hit Alt H right here with me. All right. And you're going to put this to 65, make it a red line, and you're just going to keep that right there. All right. And this is literally going to show you when you absolutely should not be shorting the indices. This is absolutely when you swing long the indices, unless you're getting a crash. You swing the crap out of this thing long. All right. So just keep in mind. That's why I say you want to complicate things for yourself by taking a look at all this other crap. Do it. All right. Do it. But we're not going to do so here on the channel. I'm not going to buy into all the baloney that I see. And yeah, with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Everyone have a lovely rest of your night. I really do appreciate the living crap out of you guys. You guys bring smiles to my face every single day. And I love you. Peace.